Hey everybody, it's Dan Martin. Today's tip is going to be understanding the difference between swinging and leverage. Leverage is actually bad, swinging is good. Before I get into this though, please hit that subscribe button on your screen. All right, so I've got here a simple aim stick in my hand, and I'm going to show you guys how to use this to understand something that really plagues a lot of golfers. Okay, and so most golfers don't understand how a swing works. Well, for anything to swing, it actually has to have a stretch through it. Okay, so your entire body is a system of swings. Like even when you walk, you're actually creating a system of swings which keeps exchanging energy in an efficient way. Another way to move to create force is to do what's called leverage. So a really classic kind of leverage mechanism is what's called like a seesaw. Okay, so I'm kind of like I'm prying or crowing or using it like a crowbar. So I'm putting force on one side to move the other side. So that's one form of leverage. The other form of leverage is actually trying to use one end to move the other end. And because the golf club has the head weight is dramatically the end, it's very easy for us when we pick up a golf club to feel like we need to create leverage against the shaft to make the club move. But when you swing something, that is exactly what you don't do, okay? And so what you can learn from an aim stick is a couple understandings of kind of what it feels like to create leverage. And I think that's where a lot of people don't understand. They're just not aware of what muscles are actually creating the leverage, but it's generally kind of in your hand and wrist muscles. So if I take this aim stick, I'm going to show you guys how to do a couple things with it. First and foremost, let's discover leverage, okay? So leverage, if I kind of tilt the stick like this, and then I push against it like that, I'm actually creating leverage, okay? So I'm using the upper part of the stick to bend it to try to move the lower part. But because the ground is resisting, you can see it bend, okay? If I'm swinging something though, my motion is different. So here I'm kind of dragging. So as I start to move, now you can see there's no bend. So when something is swinging, it doesn't bend. So I'm going to take that now into motion, okay? If I'm creating leverage, I'm using my wrist muscles. You can see my wrist muscles working hard, and this thing is bending like crazy, okay? Anytime a club starts to bend dramatically backwards, that means that there's more force being put on the grip trying to move the club head. Even really good players have a little bit of bend in it. So it's very difficult to get all of this out, but in pure physics, ideally, there would be no bend whatsoever in the apparatus that you're swinging. And so if I move it like this with my wrist, it bends. The difference is actually, can I learn how to move it without bending it? And it's a very different action. You can see that my wrist muscle actually creates direction, or my arm creates direction, but I don't try to move the end of it by pushing against it, which is called leverage. So an aim stick is really easy to feel that in, because if you create leverage, you can really feel it bend and you can kind of feel it bounce around, versus if you swing it, oh yeah, just keeping it as straight as I can. So if we look at these in slow motion, what we'll see very little bend when I'm just moving the aim stick back and forth like this, versus when I'm trying to create leverage. So here I'm creating a lot of leverage. So it looks like a swing, but I'm actually making it bend. So to be successful with a golf club, you need to learn how to eliminate the leverage muscles and learn how to activate the swinging muscles. And an aim stick can be a really simple way to do that. All right, if you found that helpful, I hope you visit my website at danmartingolf.com for more information on my coaching.